The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Here's Nikki.
Hello. Welcome to the Nikki Glaser Podcast. It is Tuesday. This is episodes 100 and something. We bypassed 100 episodes, just blew past it and didn't even say. Someone wrote me a congratulations, and I was like, oh, well, thank you. I didn't even realize it. So, yeah, I mean, we started in March. That feels not that long ago. It was the only problem with over 100 episodes is people see that and go, oh, no, I can't join in. There's been too much. And it's just like, get in here. We got a party going on. It doesn't matter that you missed most of it. We'll catch you up. Come over here. Do a, what's it called? I'm just picturing showing up at a party and being like, we'll get you wasted. You'll catch up with us. And then you pour some kind of alcohol down an ice luge. Did you ever do those shot luges at frat parties?
I've just did a funnel. Is that what it is?
No, but it's just I forget what they're called, ice luge, but that's there's some kind of Jaeger luge. I don't know. There's a big block of ice and they carve out little runs and then they pour shots down it and then you put your mouth at the end of it and you just end up getting date raped later on. I think that's how it ends. I mean, so yeah, it's Tuesday. I'm wearing a shirt that says plant-based on it. And let me just tell you, already got a compliment on it this morning. I never have anyone go, I like your shirt. No one ever says that. A very kind woman at Starbucks just goes, I like your shirt. And I'm like, yeah, another vegan bitch out there. Felt good. That's why I wear this stuff, is just to find like-minded people. And this shirt's reversible. Don't even think it's not, Noah. I flip it around and I'm going to wear this shirt tomorrow maybe. And it's going to say something else on the other side. I got it from Beat by Beat, BEETXBEET. Yeah, I mean, I researched cool vegan shirts and I found some, so thank God. Yesterday was really fun. I recorded a song. It's in the bag. It's so good. So excited. Anya and Matt. We went to a studio here in St. Louis, Sawhorse Studios, actual recording studio. And it's I don't know, man. It just made me feel close to my girl T Swift, because I was like, this is the exact process she goes through. There was nothing that wasn't the same as every music. It was just a place where you can make a dope-ass album. I mean, Taylor Swift recorded folklore in her bedroom. So, you can do one kind of anywhere. Billie Eilish famously did her first album, or her debut, I guess, the one that she won a Grammy for, that was in her bedroom. But it was just done with a great sound engineer, Jason, Anya and Matt. Matt wrote the song. And the song he wrote was based off of he had heard about my life and my romantic issues via his girlfriend Anya. And I had kind of talked openly about it in front of him too, but not as much, because I just try not to burden that many people with that stuff. But he's been around me because he's my tour manager. And he watches all my shows on stage, and although I don't talk about the thing that this song was written about that much on stage, he was able to craft this song. And it's weird because he wrote the song he didn't tell me he was going to write it. He didn't tell Anya he was writing it about me or from my perspective. He just wrote the song. He played it for Anya. This is a couple months ago. And Anya texted me and was like, oh my God, Nikki, I don't know what's going on. Matt just wrote this song. And I've never heard her say this. And it's not because Matt's not a brilliant musician, but because he is, Matt Pond, PA. She was like, Matt just wrote the song, and I'm crying. It's so good. It's just so beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. I want to hear it sometime. And she goes, holy shit. And I was, as we're talking, texting, she's like, he just told me he wrote it for you. And I'm like, Was that set up? Were you set up to go like, I just heard this song and I love it. Oh, by the way, I just found out it's about you. Like, Anya's not a liar. So like it really happened in that kind of, that's why I think she loved it so much, was because it just reminded her of probably me, and we have similar kind of attitudes towards love and stuff like that. So I think that a lot of people are going to relate to it. And it's just, Matt is such a quiet, like introspective soul, and like doesn't really weigh in when I'm like lamenting about guys or whatever it is. He's just like quietly drives the van to the venue or what, but I'm always like chit chatting about stuff around him. And he just absorbed my feelings and put them into a song. And I heard the song and I start crying when she sent it, because I was like, oh my God, like this is how I feel. And then I played it for Andrew. This was a couple months ago. I played it for Andrew. It was just this raw sounding, like just like kind of sloppy, like Death Cab's like guitar, and then like his voice over it. I played it for Andrew. I instantly figured out the chords and was like, I have to learn the song. I want to play this. Like I have to sing this. Then Andrew was like, Jesus Christ, that song's so good. And so we started like listening to it all the time. And then Matt was like, why don't we record this song? Why don't you record this song? I would love for you to do that. We'll do it when I'm, on the road somewhere. We'll get a studio. And it just worked out that I'm doing this thing with a bunch of cameras following me around. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun to actually have them document for who knows what, really. We don't know what they're following me around for.
Who knows?
It's really undetermined at this point. They just started and I don't even know what it's about. But we decided to like rent out a studio and do it. And I think we would have done it even if there weren't cameras following me around. Like it was just something I've wanted to do. I'm a little bit like, oh, I didn't write it. And I really wanted to write a song, but I got to sing on it. My singing is fine. I have a long ways to go. It's a perfect first attempt. Like the way it sounds, I was like, you know what? In 2 months, I'm going to be like, oh, I could do such a better job, because I'm going to singing lessons like twice a week now. I'm going to one right after this podcast. And I'm learning so many little tricks and things about my voice that will make it better. But I sounded pretty damn good. Like I sounded all right. And then when you layer things, like you don't realize, like so many singers, you hear their voice like 10 times over itself. And reverb, we realized when you turn up reverb on your voice, it's like mascara. It like makes your voice hotter. It's like a spray tan for your voice. And so I put a lot of mascara and spray tan on my voice, but not really. Like it wasn't that. And usually I hate hearing my voice. And at first it was kind of hard to hear the playback. And then I was like, oh, this actually sounds good. And then I started like before a lyric or before when we go to back to a piece. And Anya was like coaching me through it all and being like, so maybe like don't take a sharp breath beforehand. You're kind of adding, like that. We were actually doing a cover of Cruel Summer that we started on after we finished this song. So this song is called Endless Summer. And then we're also going to do a cover of Cruel Summer, which is Taylor Swift's song that Anya already has a cover of on Spotify. And there's like the first line is like, fever dream high in the quiet of the night, you know that I got it, or something like that. And I was saying, fever dream high in the quiet of the night, you know that I was doing like, she was like, take out that, just say, you know that I got it. And it was so hard to do. Like there's little tricks like that I just couldn't. And then I was just like, I can't do this song yet. Like, this is too much. The breathing's all messed up. Singing's fucking hard. It's playing an instrument. It's hard. So I was able to put my ego on the side and realize that it wasn't going to sound perfect. I'm not as good as Matt or Anya. I'm not as good as any of the people that I love their voices, even if they have like a weird voice. Like even, Bob Dylan. Like these people have been doing it so long. I just started... lower the bar and have some fun. And I did, and it's so good. And we're going to shoot a music video for it, and I can't wait to share it with the besties and put it on Spotify and have everyone download it, because then I'm going to hopefully like play it and like have people sing along and stuff. It'll be awesome. Noah, what book did you just get out?
Okay, so I was reading while I was waiting for us to set up this morning, and what you just said is something that I underlined in the book, which is about learning, like being a good mentor and a good student. So, all right. So I just wanted to
Wait,
read
what is
this
the
line
book?
to you. It's called Mentoring, the Tao of Giving and Receiving Wisdom.
Ooh. Oh my
The
God.
Tao of Giving and Receiving
what
Wisdom.
made you pick up this book?
I really like the Book of Tao, and I just want to. I never learned how to learn or how to teach or receive information, so I thought this would be a good way
Wait a
of
second.
applying something that I like.
I'm loving the sound of everything you're saying, but especially the sound of this book opening. Will you give me that again?
Yes.
Oh, that's ASMR all over it. Is that a library book?
No, it's a. I found in like a bookstore.
Does it have like a plastic covering on it?
Yeah, it's also.
Oh God, that's the best. You know that plastic covering they put on library books that goes like crinkle? Like that's my jam, ASMR. Okay, I am on board. Tell me bestow to me what you learned about learning and about teach me what you learned about teaching.
Okay, I'll read a little bit longer since you're so interested.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it asks us to admit that we don't know, which creates a sense of wisdom that never relinquishes itself to fixed, limited opinions about what should be. By acknowledging this emptiness, which is, acknowledging that we don't know, we enter into a communion with our partners, creating potential relationships of deep understanding and openness to vast growth and change. And then there's like a little line over here that I highlighted. Those who know they know not become wise. Those who presume they know much stay ignorant.
I mean, that's it, man. I mean, that's everything. That's every time you enter an argument with someone where you know you're right. You're not. It reminds me of an Anya lyric. It's hard to be wrong, worse to be right. Stuck in the middle of, like, I was listening to that song the other day and I was like, it sucks to be right. When you go, I know I'm right, and I always say that about being vegan, like we're right. That's not a good place to be in because you're stuck and you're not open to any. You have to be open to even wrong opinions. Those make you richer and make you smarter and maybe even help you grow your own. Maybe you don't even change your point of view. You learn new ways to prove your point of view because you hear more wrong or whatever. Like, you have to be open to everything. And I don't know. People always say, like, that's an answer. You don't have to always say yes and no to things. And this almost comes back to when people ask you to go to a thing and you agree to do something that you don't want to do. Or maybe in the moment you want to do it and then you get to it and you go, oh God, I don't want to do that. And then you make up being sick or something and then you lie and it just turns into a whole thing. I don't know is an answer. And you could say that. And there's so much freedom in I don't know, like that buys you a lot. When I go off on these, rants on stage about relationships and monogamy and how it's not natural and, orgasms ruin relationships and blah, 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 blah. And I always say I've only read a third of these books. I am not that smart. And I also what did I do yesterday that everyone was like, that's so embarrassing that you thought, the yard thing. Like, I thought a yard was the metric system. Listen, you shouldn't be taking any kind of scientific advice from someone who thought a yard was in the metrics. Like that right there shows you I'm right about the fact that I don't know diddly squat, but I love that. I got to read that book. I'm reading Zen Guitar, which I don't know if the Tao and Zen are like connected, but I might be someone who's like, my friend Robin Tran has a joke about her girlfriend's parents are like, Robin Tran is a transgendered, she's a woman, really funny comedian. You can go to, I think it's Robin Tran on Instagram. She posts stuff all the time, but she did this joke about her girlfriend's family, and I think she's Vietnamese. I could be wrong about that. I don't know, and I admit ignorance about what but she, Robin Tran is Asian, but her and it would be the same as if my parents. She's definitely not Japanese, and her girlfriend's parents brought her to a sushi restaurant to be like, "Is this what you like?" And she's just like, "Sure, you know what? Close enough." That is wait, I forget what my point was about that, but Zen and Dao, like that could be like sushi and Vietnamese, and I'm like, it's the same, right? Is it the same? Is it in the same genre?
I don't think it's the same. I think it's a little bit different.
Yeah, it might be completely different, but I'm again, I don't know. But anyway, I'm reading this Zen guitar thing, and it's just about like, you know, when you pick up your guitar, like there's no the teacher in this book is just like, this isn't going to be like a technical approach. We're not going to learn scales. You're just going to learn about how you have a song in your soul, and this is like, you need to bring it out, and it's all about spirituality. And that's how I want to approach playing guitar. Like, they're like, when you pick up your guitar, you pick up that guitar. You don't just, you think about it when you pick it up. You think about this, no matter what you're playing. If it's like a box with like a little chord on it and you're just strumming that is your instrument. Think of it like, no matter how shitty your instrument is, think of it like, this is my tool to communicate. And I like that. I got a new guitar teacher, and she's very technical, but also she was just like, yeah, you can play I want to know, like, what's a trick to playing a bar chord so my finger doesn't hurt? Am I holding the pick the right way? She's like, I don't care. Like, hold it however you want. I'm just going to teach you about like music theory. So actually, I think she's onto something. And I've never had a female guitar teacher, and that is a breath. I've had like 5 guitar teachers in my life, all men, which great. But there's something about like this older woman who just like loves guitar, loves teaching, and she came over to my apartment the other day, and we had a good old time. Me and Carol. You know, when you get assigned a teacher named Carol, you know a young lady ain't showing up. We need to bring back Carol, right? Carol's a good name. There should be.
I like it.
I hope my sister, when she has her baby, names it Carol.
Like a Christmas Carol, like a song.
Yeah, it's a cute name for a baby. I love babies with old people's names. All right, let's bring in Andrew. Let's get him on this conversation. Andrew! Alrighty. Hey, Andrew.
What's up?
What's up? So I was just, how'd you sleep, by the way?
I slept pretty good. I did wake up in the middle of the night and crush some pizza.
Yeah?
Pizza in the Dark, baby. That should be the name of my what album? Folk album?
Pizza in the Dark. I mean, that would be a hit. And that's like not a joke. Like, that's a fucking hit. Pizza in the Dark with you on a Friday. Now I'm living life. I'm doing it my way. I'm eating this pizza in the dark. You used to be here. There's more from me, but
I guess
our
Bruce
future's
Springsteen.
not clear.
Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark.
Yeah,
Right?
But Pizza in the Dark, I just picture a guy like who used to like eat pizza with his girlfriend. It was like a fun thing they did where they like made pizza late at night, and now it's like this depressing thing. Like, she's not there, and he gets more pizza, and I always gave you that extra slice that I wanted for myself. Now I get to eat it and
Feel bad about myself.
yes, that's good.
Hell yes.
Yeah, Pizza in the Dark. Let's put it down.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a fun experience, and you know, you do that, and then you wake up in the morning and you go, did I eat 5 slices in my sleep?
I mean,
and it's fine.
Yeah,
we had fun.
We went to dinner last night, and you just brought home some pizza, and then
devoured it. And
I'm impressed you didn't finish it before you went to bed. Usually, when I bring home leftovers, let's be honest, they're gonna get eaten right away, or I'm gonna leave them at the restaurant. So I just clean a plate, man.
CPC.
You know, we're having cameras following us around for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
Well, last night when they were filming us eating, I was a little bit like, because I got a pizza and then I just eat the toppings because I get it with no cheese. And I just like veggies and sauce. Like, give me a plate of veggies and sauce. And I know that's probably like wasting the crust, but sometimes crust is delicious. This one wasn't that good.
Ooh, okay.
So I looked at the crust. It wasn't, and they originally put cheese on my pizza because I forgot to say no cheese, like an idiot. And so they made it, and we kept it, and we paid for the one that they accidentally made, but they made another one, and they rushed it, and it just wasn't cooked as well because they were rushing it, right?
Yes.
So I just ate the sauce and the veggies, and there's a part of me, like, my brain, it's a weird thing to do. It's just like eat the sauce and the veggies on top of the pizza. Most people would be like, ew, just sauce and veggies, like, that's so gross. Why do you like that? I just do. I just do, you know? I don't need I'm kind of a low carb kind of gal. I have carbs when I want them. This crust wasn't good enough for me to have it, the carby carbs.
Do you feel wasteful, or do you think it's just weird? What
It's
if you
just
just
weird.
said, hey, let me get veggies with marinara sauce? I mean, why is that not an option? Should be.
It should be, but, you know, I wanted the crust if it was going to be good crust. I didn't know. And it's too much to explain. And also,
Are you worried how you're going to see on camera?
that's what
That
I
kind
was
of-
saying. I'm generally, me a year ago, 2 years ago, would have eaten like 2 slices, even though like it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then I maybe would have like when I thought someone else was talking and the camera would be on them, I would have eaten the toppings off here and there. But I just started like I just did it, and I was like, there was maybe a little voice in my head that was like, this is gonna look weird, and someone might like, this isn't gonna be the focus of the episode. They're not gonna like somehow, you know, when on a reality show someone will be talking about something and then they'll zoom in on something that the person didn't realize they were even like. Sometimes when I pick up my knee, like the thing on my knee that makes when I get nervous, I have a feeling like the reality show is going to start zooming in on that because it's just such a giveaway of I'm stressing out. And I wouldn't mind that because, listen, I'm out with it. That's a better thing than me doing a lot of
I
other.
realized I was eating like I eat. Like,
Yeah, like you forget the
sometimes
cameras are there.
I dip, you know, your boy goes after the hummus. And I get hummus on my fingers, and then I'm licking my. I'm sure it looks like
We're going to see sides of
pigsty.
ourselves
Yeah.
that are really disturbing. But, you know, like that dinner, though, I was with you, Kirsten, and Chris, my ex. And, like, if everyone, those people accepted me for how I eat.
Yeah.
Like, and if I don't need anyone else's, and my parents definitely do, I don't need anyone else's acceptance about how I eat. If these people can see how I eat and still like me, I'm good to go.
Look, you know the person that eats a sandwich and they make, like my mom used to make every sandwich an open face sandwich because she didn't want double the carbs. And it's a little weird to see the whole, like you're seeing what's inside.
And let's be honest, you end up eating the whole thing, but you kind of separate it.
It's so funny when you split a sandwich. I used to, eat 6 inches and put it in the fridge for 3 hours later. 20 minutes later,
3 minutes later, yeah.
Yeah, I'm eating
Or so, like when I've seen you like eat the toppings of the like I did, like eat the toppings and then you eat the crust, and it's like it would have been better together.
You carve the dough before the crust. So whatever, but I'm saying there's millions of people that will make an open face sandwich that are kind of weird and picky how they eat, and we don't all eat like
we
like
don't
it's a cotillion or something. So it's like, who gives a fuck?
There's no way that I'm not going to have weird food things with what my life used to be with regarding food. And now that I actually feed myself and I'm never starving myself, I'm never trying to I never eat so that I'm not fat or so that I stay skinny.
Yeah.
I'm just eating because it's like what I want. Like, yeah, I said I don't like carbs because carbs make me just feel like I'd rather have something else in that stead that tastes better to me than like carbs. Like I know carbs will fill me up and then I'll be like, oh, I got filled up with that crust that wasn't even that good. Like I just always want what I want to get the amount. And I'm not trying, but even so that I'm not ever trying to eat, to lose weight or to manage my weight. And I'm just eating for enjoyment. I like weird fucking things, and I like eating the toppings off of pizza. And then at the end of it, I stacked because it just looked weird it just looked kind of gross with this like kind of picked apart pizza. So I took all the slices and stacked them on top of each other so it would just be more consolidated. And then the guy came over to get it and was just like, "What is this?" And I was just like, I don't know.
That's like when you eat one bite of peas and then you like spread them apart
Yeah.
to make it look like you ate more. Look, watching Love on the Spectrum last night, and
Love on the Spectrum.
the guy loving his dinosaurs, the girl, or the one loving the swords or whatever, or the girl, and they all have these
they
like
are
very
just who they
yeah.
are.
And there's and
God, we
people-
could all be so lucky
Yeah.
to have that kind of freedom of like they aren't ever trying to look
a certain
way for
Yeah.
the camera. Like sometimes you go, sometimes you watch the show and you get nervous for them because you're like they're so nervous. It's like they feel nerves because they like want something to go the way they want it to, but they're never trying to look a certain way or get a false
Yes.
thing out of someone. It's
Yeah.
just so beautiful.
It's very pure, and it makes me like, okay, here's something that I like to do, or here's something, I don't know, you just feel more appreciative of like what you like and being okay with that. And I
That's-
think that we could learn from that.
We talked about that on the
Yeah.
show last night.
Yeah.
Like I did not like just the things you feel that you like, that you can't help what you like, and sometimes that goes into some illegal territory. I would even say those people can't help what they like, and that doesn't mean that they should be able to do the things that they like, but that they should be able to actually tell someone that they like those things and find a way to manage it. Like I like
Like a
smoking pot
germophile.
all day.
Yes.
Right?
You like smoking pot all day.
But that's okay. That's what I like to do because that is giving me something that I can't help that I like that. I don't get to choose that I like that. No one would choose that.
Yeah.
So a meth addict loves smoking meth. They didn't get to choose that they like meth, and you might think it's a choice, but it's just not. Like no one signs up for life and says, of all the things, I want to do that. And you could argue, but they chose to do meth at one point. But it's even that they didn't choose to have no free will. DM me if you want to look into it. But we talked about last night, I really didn't learn until the age of like 30 that feelings were not something that you have a choice of. Noah, did you ever feel guilty for your feelings? And by the way, feelings not just being like, I'm scared of this, or I don't like this, or I'm mad. But like what you were saying of like autistic people on this show, they like dinosaurs. There's a 30-year-old man who loves dinosaurs and says, I want to honor them. These great beasts that walked these magical beasts that walked the earth. I honor and love them and pay respect to them for what they've, for how they once ruled the world. And it was just like,
a lot of us are made to feel guilty for having childhood like obsessions and likes as an adult. Like you
Let
have to
yourself off
grow
the
out
hook.
of them. And you don't have to grow out of them. They could just be part of your life, but you don't have to like those things made you so happy and fulfilled. Don't throw them away. Don't put them in a box in the garage. Take your dinosaurs out of the garage and put them in the living room. And if your husband divorces you because of it, or your wife leaves you, you got the dinosaurs to
You're watching
to eat with your pizza in the dark.
Yeah, like the childhood things like making you happy. Chris even on the show last night was like, "Oh my god, he has like race car pictures in his bedroom, Ronan on the show." And Chris is like, "I just bought that same exact race car picture for my," and I was like, I am so glad you did that because that is kind of a childish thing to do, is have a picture of a race car. But if it makes you fucking happy, just do it. If it brings you back nostalgia, yes, Michael Jackson went a little far with the I'm living in a boy and I'm making my life a child's life. If there was all the things he allegedly did were not true, it's fine that he liked kids stuff.
This is why people love sports, because you get to hold on to your T-ball days and you just buy another guy's jersey and you wear him for the rest of your life and no one questions you because that's sports. You can love your team until you're 98.
You're right.
But don't you dare have a poster of NSYNC on your wall when you're 98.
Or a poster of Mahomes or whatever. Like you can't still, like you can
No,
wear a
you can't
jersey
have
with
a-
his,
Yeah.
but you can't have a poster, but you should be able to. Oh, no, it has to be a fat head now because those are for
Fathead.
adults. Noah, what do you think about all of this?
One thing that I learned from a relationship book called Getting the Love You Want is
That's another one that
Remember?
everyone tells me changes everything.
But an important thing that I learned is that as adults, we look to complete our childhood. And I think that can be applied to many things. So for me, all the like sports and stuff that my parents didn't really invest in me. I get to do as an adult, and I get to try them all over again, but I'm in control of the situation. And I think it's brought me a lot of enrichment to my life.
I love that. And we did talk about that with you of like, why are you going, what are you doing riding horses? Like, where did this come from? What are you, even liking wrestling late in life? Like, these are things that you didn't maybe have exposure to early on that would have, like I always say with Taylor Swift, it would have served me so much to have her in high school. And I'm making up for lost time. I'm healing that 15-year-old that needed that emotional support. And oh my gosh, I have so much to say real quick. Oh gosh, what was I going to say about this sport thing that you're going back and doing? Well, I had a teacher write to me this weekend. Well, I had a bunch of weird things happen this weekend with teachers. We got to get to the news, but like, first of all, my favorite teacher of all time, Madam Kalfas, she's still at Kirkwood High School. She teaches alongside my sister. She wrote to me. I asked her to come to the show this weekend. Because all the cameras following me were like, hey, is there anyone from your past that would be cool to come to your show? And I was like, oh, Madam Kalfas. Like, she means so much to me. She's come to a bunch of my comedy shows. She's, works with my sister. She's still like in my life, sees my Instagram, makes hard eyes on things. And she couldn't go because she was going to Brandy Carlisle that night, which like, what a cool fucking woman.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if anyone is going to trump my show, it's old BC. Brandy Carlisle, who I met at the iHeart Awards because I sat next to her wife in Usher's little circle. I was sitting next to this woman who was very nice, but I thought she was like a publicist. And I had been done. I'm done with my delivering my doing my part that I was nervous about. And then I'm like, I'm just here to party now. I'm sitting next to Machine Gun Kelly, Megan Fox, this broad next to me who's someone important, and she's so nice. And she was like, oh, that was really funny. Good job. And I was like, oh, thank you. I'm so excited. I'm done. Who are you here with someone? Who are you? And she was like, oh, my wife is, doing the Elton John tribute. I'm like, who's your wife? And she's like, Brandy Carlisle. I'm like, get the fuck out of town. I was like, I love her. And then Brandy comes and sits down. We have a great time. That's the only interaction I've had with Brandy. But she was in St. Louis the same night as my show. Madam Kalfas went to her show and said, so I asked Madam Kalfas if she could go. She goes, I'd give an arm and a leg to come see you, my dearest Nikki. You and Lauren became a French 4 lesson this last week. I don't know what that means. But I've got Brandy Carlisle tickets tomorrow night. I will definitely be in the front row next time. So cool that you have a bunch of cameras following you. That's what she said. That's what she didn't say, but something else. Love you. She goes, love you, Tuy. Which, by the way, in French, we got to make up... you got to pick like French names. They used to do that in like Spanish.
Oh, it's Andres.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was Kiki Tuy, because I liked both the name Kiki because it sounded like Nikki.
Oh, you made up like your whole like.
And Tuy, Thuy, is like, I just thought it's like a cool like Kiki Tuy.
Sound like
so
a
I
bird,
was Kiki Tuy.
Yeah.
And she said I didn't even remember that was my name. So then I go, I said, thank you so much. I love Brandy. Have so much fun. Then I said, please let me know. I go, she said, bring your cameras to KHS high school. I go, I want to do a talk for girls there, like a TED talk kind of thing. And she said, please let me know if I can help, blah, blah. Then before my show, when she's probably getting ready to go to Brandy Carlisle, she wrote me, give them heck tonight. Oh, I get emotional reading this. Okay. I didn't read this until I was coming home from my show. She goes, give them heck tonight, Nikki. You are a courageous, creative soul. Your path is glamorous, but I'm sure it's not always easy. At heart, I know you are the girl who loves animals and the bird you had in high school and your family and bringing joy and laughter to the world. Thank you. And I said, I want to get that fucking tattooed on me. That is the nicest thing.
It's a long one, but yeah, that would be dope. I mean, it's great that you connected with a teacher like that. And
dude,
you kind of forget, like, we forget that the teacher, like, we're their stories. You know what I mean? Like, she is proud of you. Like, you were, like, connected to her. Like, it's like anything. You just see your teachers. That's a teacher. That's not even a human. But they're on the other end being like, I taught Nikki. She was this. I saw this about her. I knew that old Kiki Tuy would be selling out, the factory.
She, I got anorexia, like, right when she...
Very French.
Anorexia?
I don't know, just being very skinny, like you smoke a cigarette and eat a
so I
baguette.
can wear shirts with horizontal stripes and not feel like fat, like a French man with black and white stripes, horizontal. No, she was on bed rest. I only got into AP French because I was sucked at French, terrible at it, always a struggle. I only did AP French because she was the teacher. Then we start school and she is pregnant and she gets bedridden. And so she can't even teach us. We get a new teacher who is also pretty good, but I only wanted Madame Kalfas. Like she was like, I was like kind of in love with her. Like really, really needed her. She was around when September 11th happened. Then she got bed rest. Okay, so like right after our senior year started, boom, she's gone in bed. That child's now like 20, right? But she came back. After she gave birth, she came back, and at the very end of the year, she took all of the AP French students out to Macaroni Grill. And I had not seen her since back in September.
Yeah.
Before she left. And by May of 2002, I was like on my way to death. Like I remember we went to Macaroni Grill, and this comes back around. This is so weird. Sorry, Noah, we'll get to the news. I ordered pasta. Like, it was Macaroni Grill. There was nothing on the menu that I could eat as an anorexic. Like, literally nothing. I was freaked out about it. And I remember telling the waiter, can you put no oil in it? Like, I was so scared of oil. So scared. I was like, can you just because I was scared of fat. Because pasta didn't have fat, but, like, oil. And I was like, no oil. And I just remember her, like, kind of seeing through it and being like, okay. Like, and I just remember being like, oh, no, she knows. And, like, I just don't want her to think less of me, and she knows I'm up to something. And I think I really like shut her out after that. But she always was the one that made me feel like okay about being who I was and like liking the things I liked and being bad at French, and that it was okay and that I was still like, something I could get good at. And it's really weird because I just started watching ASMR videos of women talking in French because there's something so soothing about the woman who's like, bonjour, mes
The
amis.
best.
Like talking, and it's like
French music.
I was
or
like,
that
oh,
one
maybe I
girl.
can start French again. So I
Yeah.
might do that. Let's get to the
Just
news.
listen
Thank
to
you for indulging
Edith
me. In that.
Palif. Or
Edith Palif.
Palif.
Pilaf.
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 I saw Brandy Carlisle. She sang with John Prine. She was so fucking good. Oh,
You saw her live?
Yeah, Sturgill Simpson,
Cool.
then Brandy Carlisle and John. She came out and sang with John Prine. What a concert! That was
Yeah.
probably my favorite concert.
She's incredible. I got to get into her more, but it's just so hard for me to get into new music.
Dun,
What's wrong with me?
dun, dun, dun,
That's not going to
dun,
help.
dun.
Okay, let's get to the news.
You heard it here first. Yeah, you heard it here first.
I have you ever get muscle spasms?
Yeah.
I have a muscle spasm.
I love 'em.
And really?
Because
I
I
guess
hold
you could
them and
lean into them.
I feel my body twitching, and I'm like, oh my God, it's like a little alien. It's almost like a baby's kicking in my eye.
You know what? That's. I'm gonna change my thought process because I
I don't
haven't.
know if that's better though.
I don't. I
It
have
just
it in my
makes
chest,
me feel like it's not up to me.
but it's like right next to like kind of where my heart is. So the old Andrew would go, "Is that my chest or is that my heart not
No.
beating correctly?"
I think you're in love. Miss you, Brenna.
Miss you so
Miss
much,
you,
baby.
baby.
Kisses.
New episode of Puddles with Puddles
with Brenna.
Andrew's podcast. If you want to check it out, him and Brenna, his girlfriend, she might be the new permanent co-host.
Honestly,
Let's get to the
I'm
news.
so lazy with it. Okay, thank you so much, and have all the swells.
Oh, yeah. Good job.
Not drinking enough water probably causes these little baby muscle spasms in us. Might leave you with less energy, brain fog, affect your focus. Your breathing and heart rate may be faster than normal. You can overheat, and you might feel confused or cranky. You're supposed to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water per day. How much water do we drink, Nikki?
Dude, I'm not even joking you. Some days, 0.
0.
I
mean,
just
it's
all
in
ZVS.
that.
I mean, it's in the Spindrift I'm drinking. It's sparkling water. Listen, if my
We'd be
body
dead.
needed, I listen to what my body needs, and sometimes it does fucking need water, and I chug some water. I'm in tune. I'm not gonna be one of these people I used to chug water so I could just get it in because I knew it was gonna be good for my skin. I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just, if my body needs it, I'll get it. I will be more mindful of that, but I trust now that I I like putting things in my body that feel good, and I'm not going to beat myself up anymore about the not getting enough water. I can't do it because then I start drowning myself with water and I feel
know.
sick.
Yes, you could overdo it.
Even
or
though
like,
Mick Jagger was really chugging it down the other night, and it was like I was like, film it. Like he would show up on the big screen like dancing, and then they would go over to Keith Richards, and that's when he would go for his water bottle. And I'm like, I want to know what water bottle he has because it looks so efficient and cool.
I feel like he is probably insanely anal about what he puts in his body.
I'm sorry, you said anal and I got
Yeah,
distracted.
I can feel that.
I'm anal about what I put in my body too.
Because he wants to still be like, there's something about a 78-year-old man that still wants to look sexy.
I'm
Like
telling you, every person in that goddamn building Googled Mick Jagger age, Mick Jagger health regimen. I learned that he runs up to 8 miles a day. He eats
8
clean.
miles a day.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, this is what Bruce Springsteen does. He comes home from concerts where he performs for 4 hours with like 4 encores and then runs 5 miles on the treadmill, cooks up a delicious meal. Like he just is one of these hyper productive, like go, clean eating people. And I feel like I was talking to Kirsten about it last night, and I love Kirsten's method or her, like, I'm so excited to bring her to the world. If you heard her, like, you get it. She's just like an amazing person
the
to
best.
put in front of these cameras that are following me around, to show someone who I always projected so much perfection on, because she does have a perfect body, in quotes, perfect hair, perfect skin, like she just is like a happy person. Like you're just like, God, she just is kind of perfect, and it can be it used to really bother me and make me so jealous and fuel a lot of like self-hatred because I couldn't be her, no matter how hard I tried. Even though she brought me so much joy, there was always this like subconscious like resentment that I couldn't be her. But now it's like, I was talking to her, or I heard her talking to someone about how she trains people, and goes to like she's one of the best trainers in America. I would venture to guess. She climbed the ranks of this really prestigious health center in Kansas City, the best gym in Kansas City. Very, expensive to join. She's one of the most expensive trainers, definitely, in Kansas City. And she, what she does, she's not telling people what to eat and like, you got to count your macros and you got to get this much in. And if you don't do this, you're wrong. She says that a woman comes in sometimes and it's just, or like, she says sometimes that her clients come in and will just be like, I got to get rid of this. Like, I would need to fix this. And she's just like, no. And they sometimes will go, look at you. You're so small and tiny and I want your abs. And she's like, that's why I don't put my abs on Instagram. She goes, it's all going to go away someday. She goes, I hear what you're saying. Yes, I'm young. I'm tiny. All these things are true, but that could change in the blink of an eye, and I'm going to age, and all these things are going to go away. What I want you to work on is getting good sleep. She was like, I'm the kind of trainer that's going to tell you not what to eat, how many carbs, how many like milligrams of this protein powders to do, but like read a book before you go to bed. Go to bed early. Wake up early. Journal. Like wear clothes that feel good on you. And where at the same time she totally works like she's a genius when it comes to fitness and what to do, but she's never going to tell someone they need to lose weight or they need to get abs or because that's just not sustainable.
Yeah, it's interesting like how you set a goal, like what your goal is. If someone goes, well, my goal is I want to see 6 of my abs. That's my goal.
Yeah.
It's like, when what's that quote where you like, if you build a house, but then if you build like a synagogue or a church, there's more passion behind it. You know what I'm talking about? Like,
no, but yeah.
But like it gives whoever's building it a reason to build it. Right. So these people, like, instead of like just focusing on,
I have a trip coming up and I need to get in shape for it.
It's more about being like healthy and balanced.
Are you going to be an 80-year-old man counting macros? Give me a fucking break.
Do you think
like,
Mick Jagger does?
No, I honestly think, I bet he does things that feel good for him. Like I bet running 8 miles for him is not like, oh, I got to get up and do it because I want to look a certain way. It's like, this helps me perform with the energy that I like, that makes me the happiest. Like and maybe you can argue it makes me happy to have abs. Okay, but when your abs go away when you're an older person, or let's say you get into a car accident and you're in a wheelchair and you can't have abs or your limbs atrophy, are you going to be okay? Are you going to kill yourself?
Yeah.
Like, or what? When your
agree.
happiness and your self-worth is wrapped up in those physical things. And listen, I'm not free of the burden of self-obsession and body image, but I just know that when I hear a trainer tell a woman who's pregnant on the fucking stair climber next to me that she needs to start eating. I remember he was describing a smoothie that she should have for 2 of her meals. And I was like, that smoothie is less than 200 calories.
Yeah.
Like, I know. And I just said, I'm sorry, she's pregnant and you're making her do a workout right now where she's already burned 200 calories. So all her lunch is 200. And he goes, I'm sorry, was I talking to you? And I go, no, but I can't help but hear that you're advising a pregnant woman to restrict her nutrition. Like, what the like, trainers that come from that perspective.
Yeah. That's when I would hide in the bathroom.
And dude, I've
during
just been
that
there.
confrontation.
I've been there for 20 years and I just want other people to give up this like diet culture. And
What about this though? Mick Jagger or turkey? Are you ready?
Oh yeah, let's play Mick Jagger or turkey.
All right, you
Andrew's
ready,
gonna do an
Noah?
impression, and it's either a Mick Jagger impression or a turkey.
That's definitely a turkey.
No, that was Mick Jagger. That was
Okay,
Mick Jagger.
okay, do it. Let's do it again. That's a turkey. That is a fucking turkey.
Mick Jagger again.
No
yeah,
way, dude.
I'm telling
Okay.
you. All right, last one.
Okay.
Here we go. You could try.
Okay,
But
one more. Oh, that's, 100% Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger.
Ah, yes, got it.
Nice.
Wow, it was Mick Jagger the whole time. What would a turkey look like if you did it though?
I guess you got to
We
keep
got-
playing the game.
Stay tuned. You know what it should be? Sassy turkey or Mick Jagger.
Sassy
Turkey that got pardoned on Thanksgiving by the president. Like, that just comes back to the roots like, Mick Jagger.
You know that was going to be our bird for America, the turkey?
It should
Because
be.
he's so much smarter than the eagle.
Did you know the velociraptor was really the size of a turkey?
We learned that last night.
From Mark, one of
that
the
actually
autistic-
blew my mind.
Yeah, I knew about it from Reddit. Hey, Andrew, next news story.
Oh, yeah, shit. I thought we were just
Water.
talking.
I have to drink more water, but guess what? I get to drink more water if I want to.
Well, a part of the article said that seltzer could be counted as water. Hold on.
Boom!
Let me
Jackpot.
just quickly see before Andrew moves on.
Yeah.
Sparkling water,
Jackwater.
fruit teas without sugar can also be another healthy way to increase water
Okay,
consumption.
well, guess what? Old Canhead is gonna keep on sipping the sieves.
Old Can.
I do 8 Zevias a day at least.
Yeah.
Those are they're seltzer-ish.
Look, you'd be dead if you weren't drinking water. We
Hey, will
all-
someone send me if like stevia is bad for you? Will someone send me like why?
Or if you're a company out there, can you just send us a lot of water?
Yeah, but Zevia, what are you doing? Every single photograph I have of myself has a fucking Zevia in my hand.
You should literally be the head of their company.
I should invest because it's delicious. And I met a guy on the road who goes, when I saw Zevia was on your rider, I was like, that's my girl. I'm going to enjoy this girl. And I go, are you addicted too? And he was like, oh, I go through like 40 cans in like 3 days. Like he was like, he's at worse than me.
I mean, people love Celsius because we talk about it. I think we talked about it more than Zevia. But if you want a drink that is going to change your life,
And get you addicted. And it's kind of expensive though.
Yes,
Zevia
that's the problem.
ginger root beer is my jam.
Yeah.
And so is the cream soda.
okay, at Aetna, an Aetna woman, I don't know what Aetna means.
Oh, I don't know what.
I think it's
actually,
probably like a
just
small
location.
town in
Okay.
from wherever this
yeah.
local news story is.
Yes. This woman who wanted to.
What if her name was Edna? Some Edna woman.
Yeah, an Aetna woman named Aetna wanted to spend more time with her boyfriend, but she was arrested after she directed 2 separate bomb threats to where he worked. So he worked at a factory. She wanted to hang out with him longer, so she made bomb threats. Talk about love.
I mean, was he in on this? Was this like a,
I don't think so.
Jeff Gillooly situation? Okay.
His whole office had to be evacuated.
Yeah, they lost a lot of
and
money
it-
for her to get some dick for another 2 days.
But how much of Bachelor in Paradise did they get through together? Like, I don't know what she wanted him around. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. Like, how do you get to that
I'm not
point?
kidding you. Like, Noah, thank you for choosing this.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great story.
I want my partner to be, my best friend, like someone that, not the same best friend that Anya's my best friend or Andrew's my best friend, but I want someone around that I can that I love being around
Yes.
and that will be around me as much as possible because I want Yeah, I want like a life partner. And I want someone who, because I make enough money, I just feel like for two people, and I don't plan on really having kids, I don't want them to really work unless the work they do brings them immense joy and doesn't cause them stress outside of work. Like, I don't want someone, and if they're working a factory, like if they're working a job that doesn't bring them joy, get out of that. Just come on the road with me. Or, you know, you don't have to be on the road with me, but like, if let's say that they were like you and they liked golfing, I'd be like, just go on the road with me and just go
Play
golf
yeah.
during the day, and then come to the shows at night and hang out with me and my friends. And
That
yeah,
sounds
I
pretty
love,
sick to me.
you know, work really does take, if you're dating someone who like is gone a lot working or
they
hates
don't like
their job, it's
Yeah,
hard.
It is. It's tough because you want, if they don't like their job, you want to change it for them, but then they also just want you to listen. They don't want you to like try to fix it.
And
but
you
then
end
it's
up
like,
working with these people that they work with that drive them crazy because you hear about them just as much.
oh yeah.
But have you ever heard this? This was an interesting thing that I remembered from a book called The Dance of Anger that I made my ex-boyfriend listen to
is it getting
on a
to
road
Dance
trip.
of Anger?
Yeah, it has to have getting in it. It was called Dance of Anger, and we audio booked it on our cross-country drive
Yeah.
when we moved from New York to LA. And I don't remember anything from this book, but the other day he reminded me of something that when someone is getting angry about something, like say I'm bitching about, like I was supposed to get this, today when I was like, there's all these boxes and I don't know what to do with all of them. When you go, God damn it, yes, why are these boxes? When you join in
Add to
and
the fire. Yeah.
it takes away my feel, like there's only, when your partner gets angry, listening is so much better than joining in and adding to it, not because it adds to the fire, but because that person's anger is their own, and let them have it, and it's best for you and them to not, I forget how he phrased it, but my ex-boyfriend had
So what should you do? Let's say
listen and okay, bitch to me.
No, go ahead. Talk about the boxes. What should I do? You said
No, you talk about you be me.
Oh, these fucking boxes. I keep getting boxes. I don't know what to do. It's piling up. I got to bring it to fucking recycling.
Yeah, that is-
I don't understand why I need more things.
Yeah.
I don't need more things.
It's really, that sounds so frustrating. I relate to feeling that frustrated.
You don't think I need to like make a switch though? I feel like I got to stop ordering things. Obviously, I'm just a fucking idiot with this shit.
I don't think you're an idiot, and I think you should just, just feel this feeling, and maybe it'll lead you naturally to doing the right thing instead of beating yourself about what you should be doing. I feel like you definitely did this for a reason, and you'll figure you'll be okay. But I totally understand your frustration right now.
Okay,
Instead of
I get what you're
validating
saying.
it.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
validation.
And now
Yeah.
let's do the way
The
that we
validation of
shouldn't
the
do.
feelings.
Ready?
Okay.
These fucking boxes are piling up. I can't
I mean,
keep
you
ordering
keep
things.
ordering stuff. And
I
so,
know.
I mean, it's when I order, they're everywhere. That's a huge mess.
I'm telling you.
And then your hands get all dry when you break down the
Oh.
boxes, and like your cuticles start ripping, and then you start picking at those because you're
I
anxious.
didn't even think of that.
Well,
now
I
I'm
do
even
because
more
I
angry.
keep watching you rip at your cuticles, and you're bleeding all over our apartment, and it's just there's blood on the cabinets.
But that's kind of fun though, to double up on the anger.
There's blood on the cabinets, and I'm eating pizza
in the dark. Yeah, there is.
My baby left me because she said there's no spark. Let's take a quick break and come back with Why Do I Care?
Why do I care?
Why do I care? All right, Andrew. Why do I care?
All right. I think you're going to care about this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Will Smith told his life coach
Oh, yes.
he wanted a harem of girlfriends in his
Oh.
late 20s or in his 20s. He loved the idea of traveling with 20 different women that he loved and took care of. He also admitted to being attracted to Halle Berry and the ballerina Misty Copeland.
I remember seeing Misty Copeland as one of these women that he wanted in his harem.
Yeah, he said the process of speaking about it had him realize that thoughts were not sins, and even acting on impure thoughts didn't make him a piece of shit.
There you
I
go.
know
He
this
can't
goes
help
to-
how he feels. He wants a fucking harem. He wants a harem. That doesn't make him a bad person. His actions to acquire that harem could lead to things that would make him feel like if he decided to do an R. Kelly and have,
Well, yeah.
sex slaves, because R. Kelly wanted the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in a different way, but like he went about that. He didn't have the same introspective.
R. Kelly got to hear him like how that lady got her husband to hang out with her more.
Yes.
By calling bomb threats. Now, Will Smith can do it your way by just working 6 jobs
wait
and
to
being
read
able
his
to
book.
afford them all.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that
Your
woman
way
needs to
of
get to work.
yeah,
Well,
she needs to get in.
I'm really looking forward to Will Smith's autobiography, which is called Will. And Neil Brennan, my friend, was posting about how Will was the one that exposed him to ayahuasca.
Yeah.
And Neil actually had shared with me a really interesting video that he had been interviewing Will for something. I don't even know what, but this was years ago. And, you know, Neil's a name dropper. Whenever I'm around him, he's always telling me about what famous person he knows. He's friends with the most famous people ever.
Yeah.
He just has that energy, and I love Neil, and I love his special 3 Mics on Netflix because it talks about how he likes, you know, saying that he's friends with famous people, and likes, because it gives him.
Yeah.
I like that he's admitted, like.
Yeah, that
it makes me feel
ayahuasca
cool.
post on Instagram was like, now I could finally let you
He's
know.
like, I've got into ayahuasca, and here's why. It's because of Will Smith, but it's true. Like,
yeah, no, it is.
but
It is.
but he shared a video with me of Will Smith talking about success, and I'll never forget that he said that Will had a crisis or something of this sort of like, once you've climbed Mount Everest, if that's what you always thought would make you happy, there's not a taller mountain. There isn't enough. If mountaineering is your thing, and you could go to space. That's not a mountain, right?
You could climb it with 20 hot bitches.
But
You know what I mean?
you could bring a pack of sexy Sherpas with you next time. Yeah, that's so funny. Misty Copeland might do a couple plies on the summit.
But they have an open relationship. Him and
Yeah, but I just
Jada.
remember him saying that on that clip that Neil shared with me of having a crisis of like when you've achieved everything, which Will Smith had. I mean, he
At,
didn't
like,
win an Oscar,
25.
but who cares? I mean, like maybe that
What
wasn't
did you
his
take
goal.
away from it?
I took away
What
from
did you
it
take
that
away from it?
I'm not gonna know that feeling till I get there, but I do know that it's true. Like I know that success does not bring happiness. Like whatever we're going after, like it just showed me that someday I hope to understand that, because obviously I want to have all the successes.
I mean, look at every childhood star that reached the highest high of popularity. I mean, the track record's not good.
Well, like I was talking to my mom about all these cameras around us the other day, and she's, you know, concerned of how she's going to come across the same way that I would have been concerned about how someone's going to see me eating that pizza, right? Eating the toppings off.
Pizzagate, yeah.
Yeah. And she's worried about her gait and the fact that she doesn't have one, and that the yard looks like shit, Nikki, and blah, blah, blah. And I go, Mom, I totally understand this feeling, right? I like Boxster, like I pile of Boxster. I go, I get this feeling. I've been there. Let's follow it out. Like, and what I did with the pizza thing last night, I'm like, okay, if someone judges me about it, I went through all of this in my head. I'm like, what are they going to say? What are they going to think? Blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wait a second. All I want in life, everything that I've ever wanted is love. I want money so I can I want security. I want to feel safe, and I want love, right? But really all of this fame searching it's not so much about security, because I'm financially secure. I should just stop then. It's about love, right? And acceptance. The people at that table, I was like, are my truest loves of my life. You, Kirsten, and my ex-boyfriend, Chris. Like, these are the people that, like, and my mom and dad, they couldn't be there, but, like, I know that they love me no matter what. I could do anything. Mm-hmm. I've eaten really weird things in front of them. And I go, Mom, when you get insecure about something that you don't want to show the world, and this is to everyone, like, think about, like, what's your biggest fear? What are they going to think about you? And I go, does you having a messy storage room mean that you're, like, what does it mean about you? That I'm lazy? She goes, that I'm lazy. And I was like, wow, like, that is my biggest fear in life, is that people think I'm lazy, which is ironic, because that's the thing that people tell me more than anything, is that how hard I work. Mm-hmm. And I hear that over and over, and it doesn't matter how many times people tell me it, I still have a fear that I'm tricking you into thinking I worked hard. It's a magic trick, and it's sleight of hand, and I'm actually lazy, and you don't know that I am. I've now accepted, like, I'm not lazy. And when I am lazy, it's self-care. When I stay in bed all day and so I told my mom, you're not lazy. She goes, and I go, I guess you could argue, well, then why don't you clean the storage closet? If it needs to be cleaned and you don't clean it, that's probably lazy. And I go, because you wanted to watch a Housewives marathon instead of that. And she goes, I don't watch Housewives. And I go, it's just an example.
Yes.
Whatever you did instead of doing
Yes,
that,
I was
you
gonna
could lead
say.
you to believe like that. Like, let's say you did something entertainment value that wasn't important. I go,
Or you hang out with your nephews or your grandkids.
yeah. I go,
Yeah.
I went to the Rolling Stones concert the other night instead of working on my act for my special. I should have been home probably working on my jokes if you really if you think my special is like the storage closet. And it's like, well, guess what? And she goes, no, that is not the same as me laying on the couch watching TV. That's the Rolling Stones. And I go, it's all the same. It's entertainment. It's not
Yes.
necessary. But guess what? It is. And I always tell this to people when they feel bad about, oh, I'm fat. You did not choose to be fat. You did not press a button and go, I want my thighs to look like this, or whatever you're thinking about that day. You didn't choose for your storage closet to be a mess. It's a mess because you prioritized other things. Now, were the other things you were prioritizing that special? Were they spending time with your grandkids? Maybe not. Maybe it was doing something like binging your kitchen cabinet, and that made you fat. And now your storage closet is full, and also you're feeling fat because you ate too much. You ate pizza in the dark. Well, guess what? You had to have that pizza in the dark because you were feeling feelings that if you would have not had the pizza in the dark and you would have gone, I want it so fucking bad
They
because I
would've
don't
went
like this
somewhere
feeling.
else, yeah.
It's gonna go somewhere else the next day, and it's gonna be a lot of pizza in the daylight. You know what I'm saying? So just forgive yourself for having a dirty storage closet. Think about, who are you so scared is going to see this thing about you, and what are they going to think? And if they think that, what's going to happen? And are the people at your table the ones that love you? Are they judging you for your storage closet? Because I bet they're not. Like, the people that you are closest to, you can be yourself around. And
Yeah.
if they don't shut out their love for you because of that, then let the world see who you really are and maybe accept yourself. It really like dawned on me last night with those cameras around, being like, all that matters is the people at this table. And the people at this table represent a lot more people that aren't at this table. But because these people at this table aren't going, Nikki, what the fuck are you doing? You don't deserve love because you're eating pizza that way. Then I think I'll be okay. Even if the message boards who watch the thing that
Yes.
the cameras are filming did say that I am a weird eater and I'm gross. And I can't believe a 37-year-old woman stuffs her face like that and eats like a child. Guess what? Andrew, Chris, and Kirsten still love me. That's all I need. That's all I wanted. And that's why I care about that Will Smith thing, I guess. And that's why I want to hear
And
him.
Noah.
And Noah.
Noah
Like,
still loves
Noah
you.
always, like, Noah, you were at that table too. You know, like, that table represented the people that are closest to me, that it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's how I feel exactly. It's
Yeah.
like, just whatever's in the room is in the room. That's all.
Exactly.
Those people
Like, if the
matter.
that's what matters. And I think we could be so comfortable with those people and go, oh, well, I'm worried about what, the woman down the street thinks with the perfect lawn and the perfect hair and the perfect body. She works out every day. And why can't I be like her? Is she going to be at your funeral? Is she going to shed a tear when you die? She doesn't give a fuck
Well,
about
that-
you. Stop trying to impress her.
Lazy, being thought of as lazy, and then being thought of as like there's such a positive about, like, they hustle so hard. And it's like, on the flip side of that hustle so hard is avoidance of talking to your parents, avoidance of, being closer with your friends, avoidance of doing whatever it is. Like, the negative around lazy and the positive around hustle needs to we need to stop that talk, and that, like, if you're not hustling, you ain't shit.
You miss out on so much when you hustle so much. Even, what's his name, when I sent you that clip, Logic.
Yeah.
He was talking about, like, how you become as good as he is.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't have I don't have a social life.
Yeah.
I missed out a lot. And he goes, part of me wants to go back to that kid who worked so fucking hard and say, get outside every now and again. Like, if you're someone who doesn't hustle and doesn't define themselves by their career and how much what you put out there and how much, like, the world is consuming of you, maybe you're spending time with people who your quality time you spend with them is leading them to have a better life that can create that stuff. You could be adding to the input that's being put out in the world. Okay, let's get to Reddit dump. This is your Reddit dump. Oh my God. There.
I think you could hear karaoke mode at the beginning. Karaoke mode.
Okay,
There's
so
also your laughter at the end.
okay, the things I saved are all videos, and I regret this, but you guys gotta I don't know if I can zoom in on them when I put
Maybe
them
we
up.
could put the links on somewhere.
Yeah, I mean,
for when we,
has
have
anyone
video.
seen the footage of Hitler at a horse riding contest?
No.
And he's high. They say he's high on meth, but a lot of the comments are saying he had pretty late stage Parkinson's at this point. This video is slightly sped up, okay? But even if it's slightly sped up, you tell me how fucking insane
Are you
this
sure
is.
it's not Charlie Chaplin?
No, dude, this is Hitler. And it says Hitler high on meth. And this is from the subreddit Interesting GIFs, GIFs. Press
my
replay
God.
on that.
Why am I-
This is, I can't believe more people don't see this.
Wow.
You guys, he is rocking back and forth in his chair like this. I mean, if you're watching the video. Like it's back and forth 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and it's slightly sped up, but it's so insane that even if it's slowed down 3/4 the speed of it, it would still be why is this guy rocking back and forth so much? It's really scary.
He's kind of doing the sassy turkey. Yeah, I think.
No, I think it's Mick Jagger actually.
I think. First of all, why is there such a big crowd for a horse riding contest? It's not even a race.
I mean, maybe it was
That was
their
the big
version of the Jake Paul fight.
And it was in the 30s. There was barely any television.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
that's
know.
what's
I
happening.
mean, that's the guy. It's so
Dude.
crazy how one guy like that who's rocking
Just
is
Google Hitler high on meth in a horse riding contest. At a horse riding contest, he's in the crowd. He has the swastika on his arm, and he's back and forth. And I don't know if it's meth or Parkinson's, but people are arguing says the drug regimen this guy was taking on a daily basis put Jordan Belfort to shame. Who's Jordan Belfort? Someone says, me when my ass itches, but I cannot scratch. I mean, people on Reddit are so funny. Is there, someone said, that fucking murderous Nazi, I hope he's burning in hell. Okay, that's a good comment. Gee, how much drugs did the Nazis really take and why? Someone said lots. And historically, things like methamphetamine was given to soldiers by the government so they could stay up for days in battle. This, of course, was also done in others countries' militaries. I mean, yeah, there's talk of my grandfather was a eye surgeon, and he died I think in his 40s. He smoked a lot and was drank a lot, and perhaps had some mental issues that my family sweeps under the rug and doesn't really talk about. But there was talk of him probably popping
Yeah.
methy type pills so that he could do surgery and work long hours and stay up and drink and then get up in the morning and do surgery again. And this was in the 60s.
I mean, there was
50s,
Coke
60s.
and Coca-Cola. It's just funny how certain things if enough people do them, they're the norm. So it's and then we don't realize the repercussions. I mean, hopefully science is better now, where we kind of have an understanding of giving people meth. It's probably not the best way for them to work on eyes. But there in 30 years we could go, oh, actually Zoloft caused cancer of your calves or whatever, and everyone's like, oh,
Well, they're gonna say that the sugar is the new smoking.
Yeah.
Ryan Hamilton has a great joke where he's like, someday we're gonna be like, did you know they had there were people eating sugar on planes? The same way we talk about smoking.
Yeah.
Okay, this is from dating. This is from Today I Learned, the subreddit. Today I learned, TIL. If you ever see TIL, it means Today I Learned. Today I learned about a New Jersey history professor who was telling a story to his class about how a ranger saved his life in a canyon at night in Texas in 1940. This is wild. The ranger had managed to track him down and coincidentally walked into the classroom right as the professor was telling the story.
Wait,
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
So the guy got saved by a ranger.
Here's the article. Tuesday.
Why was
this
the guy
is from
there?
December 29th, 2015. Because he found Royce Burton was teaching history at a New Jersey university when he decided to tell his class about a frightening experience he had as a young man. He was a Texas Ranger. This is Rio Grande, 1940. He got lost in a canyon after dark. Pete's after dark. He tried to climb out, but he lost his balance. Suddenly, a fellow ranger appeared and hoisted him to safety with his rifle strap. He thanked this guy for saving his life, but lost contact with him after both men enlisted in World War II. So then, 25 years later, Burton was in the middle of sharing his story when an elderly man appeared in the doorway. It was Joe, the fellow ranger. He had tracked Burton down 25 years later and walked into his classroom at precisely the moment that he was recounting his rescue. He goes, I'll have Joe finish the rest of the story, Burton said without missing a beat as the astonished classroom witnessed the two men's reunion. Synchronicity is a term coined by Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and mystic. It is the occurrence of two events that have no apparent cause and effect relation, but are nonetheless connected by meaning, often in profound ways. Synchronicity is an odd term, but it's a familiar experience to many people. Someone dreams of a childhood friend he hasn't heard from in years and gets a phone call from that friend the next day.
Yeah.
You know, these are the coincidences that we go, you won't believe this. This is a sign from the universe. The thing is, I listened to a Radiolab episode, and I believe it's called Synchronicity. And it's from years ago. Shang Wang, the comedian, recommended it to me. We were driving to Sabrina Jalee's wedding in Vermont from New York.
So funny.
He's so funny. And he goes, have you never heard Radiolab? And I was like, no. And he goes, dude, there's an episode you gotta listen to. And it's called, I think it's called Synchronicity.
You told me about this with the
balloon.
It's the balloon.
And it just talks about these things in life that you go, there was a balloon that a girl let go of, and she tied a note to it. And it flew 40 kilometers away and landed in a bush. And that bush and then the father who owned the house that bush fell into, this is the story, picked up the balloon, and it said, you know, whoever finds this, please reach out to Sarah Burton, and then gave her address. He is the father of a girl whose name is Sarah Burton, who's the same age, had a bunch of the same same birthday or something. And the thing is, people go, what the fuck? What are the odds? The odds are astronomically low. But the thing is, it happens. And they gave a perfect example, and this takes us into final thought. A perfect example of this, when something in your life happens coincidentally, like you dream of something and someone, or you go, I was just talking about this person and they just called me. I haven't talked about this person in 5 years and they call me now.
Yeah. It's
probably not God or the universe, even though I do believe in signs and I like to give meaning to them. This gives you an example. It's bound to happen sometimes. These things are bound. Your life has so many different, you've met thousands of people in your life. And every day and every year, thousands of people call you. At some point, both of those things, the 1,000 people you know and the 1,000 people that call you, are going to line up in a weird way. And think of this. Oh my God, this person I had a dream about 2 nights ago called me today. Well, if it was really a sign, why wouldn't you have dreamed about them last night? Why was it 2 nights ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit, people kind of go.
But the one, who knows how many times that guy's told that story to the class?
Exactly. And here's another thing. When there is a field of grass, let's say there's a huge field, and there's probably hundreds of thousands shards of grass, maybe millions, right? And you throw a lawn dart, right? And every blade of grass is going, oh my God, I hope it doesn't hit me. Or like, if it hits me, that will be wild. Like, what a sign. It's gotta hit one of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna not hit any of them. One of those blades of grass is gonna feel like, I'm special. But guess what? It had to hit one. There's nothing special about the definite occurrence of one of those blades of grass being hit. There's 100% one of them's gonna get hit, right? But that one, when it's you feel so special. Like, you feel like, oh my God. Like,
it's like catching a foul ball at a baseball game.
It came to me, and my grandfather caught a foul ball on the same day in 1941, and his funeral is next week. He just died 2 weeks ago. It's like, you can ascribe all this meaning, but your life has millions of variables, and if you want to, you can ascribe meaning to anything, and it takes some of the magic out of life.
It really does.
But that's not what, that's the same thing as tarot cards. I don't really believe tarot is mystical and actually, is connected to actual things that I'm like, okay, this is an absolute truth, but it allows you to interpret your life in a new way and to see your life from a different lens. So if, you know, your Aunt B dies and then a bee lands on your shoulder and makes you go, oh my God, that's my Aunt B talking to me. Like,
Oh my God, that's how
maybe
she
you
died.
needed your
Yeah.
Aunt B there that day because you have a job interview tomorrow and you're nervous about it. And
Can you remember a moment where like things lined up? I remember a few. Well, one, I was at a Bulls game and they threw a ball. The Bulls brothers. It was like the Blues Brothers.
Oh, that's funny.
And they threw a ball, and it like, what's that game in Price is Right where where it like bounces it like
Oh, the Plinko.
or
Yeah,
Plinko.
Plinko.
Yeah, I think that's how you make fried tempura. But like, and so it freaking Planko'd off like 15 other people, and I literally have a Coke and like a hot dog in my hand, and it just fell perfectly right in my lap, and I go. Like I was with my mom. Like it was just like one of those things.
Was that the best moment of your life?
I mean, it was up there with like at that point in my life. Yeah, it was pretty fucking cool. But like I had moments like I was in California. I remember when I was like 12 or something, and I'm in this like obscure restaurant, middle of nowhere. Maybe there's like 10 people in there, and one of like my best friends from camp. Is there with his family. He's one of the 10. And I'm like, what? What is that?
Yeah, you know, you go.
But then
it's
you're
a
like, well,
small
he has a
restaurant.
certain amount of money, his family, right? They travel a certain amount. Like
There's
a certain...
websites that direct you to the places to go that are cool in
Yeah,
town,
yeah.
and they went to the same website because you guys search the same things
And there's
because you're from the
300
same place.
campers that would have probably surprised me.
Yes.
Well, have you had a moment like that though? Like where you were like far away from something or
You know, like I remember I've talked about how like I recently believe in God and like am much more spiritual, but when I was a kid, I was not allowed to like believe in. My parents were like that was
like
just,
no, it was sports.
Yeah, like
wrestling.
there's no God in my house.
Yeah.
But I used to pray, and I remember one time praying. I was it was 5th grade, and I was going out with a boy. Like it was my first like boyfriend, and he asked me out. Diego Villasís asked me out on the bus, and I really didn't want anyone to find out about it because I was just like, I don't want to have to do anything with it. Like I was just like, I don't even want a boyfriend. I'm like doing this because it's like what you
Even
should
then, your brain is spinning so much.
Oh my God. And I remember staying up that night and like not being able to sleep and just being like, I just knew that if Tyler Schoonover found out about it, he would be like, why is Diego dating Nikki Glaser? Like she's a nerd. And then everyone would like hear that I was a nerd. And it was like, for some reason, I really didn't want Tyler Schoonover to be at school. Like I was just, but he was never absent, ever. And I remember praying to God, and I had this weird ritual where God would only answer my prayers if I laid in bed in a way that I'd never laid before. So I would have to be like, I'll cross my fingers in a weird way, and then my leg, I would have to make a shape with my body that had never been made before,
yeah.
which isn't hard to do because like there's enough variables in your body that I would lay like this and be like, please God, have Tyler Schoonover
Oh my
please not be
God.
there at school
Yeah.
tomorrow. And he was sick from school the next day. And that made me believe in the power of making my body into a weird shape and praying for things. And I never really tested it again because I was too scared that.
Is that why
it
my
wouldn't work.
asshole hurt yesterday? Wait, why did
Because
you
you were
stop? You
twisting
have this power?
Because I didn't want the power to be taken because I knew it was a coincidence. I knew it was a fucking coincidence. Even then I was like, this ain't God. This is just me being OCD.
It would have been such a different story depending on how sick Tyler got. Like if it was like
No, Tyler's cool now, and he like I
No,
follow
I
him on
know,
Instagram.
but you know what
and
I mean, though? Like
wish him
if-
a lot of luck. But back then, I was just so scared. But eventually, Mrs. Grow did find out about me and Mrs. Grow was my teacher, and someone told her. And I remember it was like slow motion. It was like that Black Hole Sun video of like in your face, like whoa,
Whoa.
and she
Yeah.
just goes, Nikki and Diego sitting in a
a
tree. And I was
teacher
like,
did this?
yeah, because everyone was like, Nikki and Diego are dating, and but it wasn't mean. She was just
Yeah.
going like, she was kind of happy for me because I was a dork, and she was like, ooh, Nikki and Diego. She probably said it like that, but to me it was like, Nikki and Diego, and I was like, Black Hole Sun, won't you come? Oh, won't you come? Black Hole Sun, and like dripping blood and like melting faces.
Yeah.
I
And so
referenced
wait,
that
how
time.
long did you date Diego?
We're still together.
Oh.
We never broke up. That was my joke. I saw him again in high school at Tree Court, my pool, and he was there.
Tree Court.
And I actually wrote him, I think, on Facebook in college, and wrote him and was like, technically we're still dating because we never broke up. He switched schools in 6th grade, so I never saw him again. But
I wonder why he switched.
he better not be fucking married and cheating on me because we never broke up, Diego. And I want you to know, if you're out there, Diego Villasas, I look for him all the time because he was so cute. I think he's probably a doctor now. He's so smart and just like so cute.
And she's saving her
He's
vagina
like a hot
for
doctor
you,
somewhere.
Diego.
Yeah, Diego, I'm saving my vagina for you to examine because I really do need to go get a vag exam. And there's nothing wrong. It's just I need my annual.
I got you.
Okay, guys. With that, we are. I'd rather you sing Brandy Carlisle to me than ever make that joke again. Thank you for listening to the show today. We'll be back tomorrow with more show. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are live on YouTube. Oh, Luigi, you look cute as fuck. If you want to see how cute Luigi is, you gotta go on there. You are so cute. What the fuck, guys? Don't be cute out there and
Jack off.